All right, good morning, guys. Hope y'all having a great day. And we're out here this morning. We're gonna try to can our sweet potatoes today. So thought I'd bring you along and kind of show you what we're gonna do. It's been a few years since we've actually canned any. My wife did it the last time, and that was a long time ago. That's when our kids were small, and I haven't had this many that I've got this year. I haven't had that many in a while, so to preserve them, we would like to can as many as possible. And what I've done, I've kind of went through, I've grabbed out the small ones, and some of them, when I dug them, I gouged them with a fork, which was my fault, but uh, got some of the ones out that look like they might be damaged pretty well. And uh, I've got them over here in a container, and we're going to wash them up here in a few minutes, clean them up, get them ready. But I just thought I would bring you along, kind of show you what we're going to do, and we'll get that canner out that we've rebuilt, and hopefully we can try it. So anyway, I'll show you a little bit about what I've done here. Now, as you can see there, I've got a wash tub, and I've got them in there, and I'm going to get some warm water, add a little bit of salt to it. I'm going to pour that over them and let them soak for just a little while, and then I'll take a brush and we'll scrub them, clean them up a little bit, and then I'm going to put them over into this canner pot that you see right there, and we're going to heat them up, bring them to a boil. I'll show you these I went through. I've got to clean this mess up, but I just left the biggest ones out. Thought maybe my wife has a recipe for sweet potato cobbler, and we haven't had one in a long time, so may let her try that out with a few of these, and see if she'd be willing to put that recipe up. But we've eaten some, and the the white potato, it's a little different texture than the red potato. I call it a red potato. It's actually orange, but it has kind of more of a fibrous type inside to it, I guess you would say. But the taste, once they cure out, the taste is really not that bad. It kind of has a slight vanilla taste to it. So they're not really bad, but I still prefer the red potato over these. And that's what we had. We've got just a few red potatoes. I've not dug those yet, but they're over there at my father-in-law's. We've got those in containers, so I'm gonna let those stay just as long as they can in there, and we'll see how hopefully we've got something in there, uh, and let them stay just as long as possible and get just as big as they can. And we've not had a frost yet, but as you can see, I have my jacket on, so it got down to, I think it was 43 this morning, and so we are experiencing some cool mornings, and we I think it was over the weekend, this past weekend. Today's Monday, uh, October the 19th, 2020. But I think, if I remember right, over the weekend we got down to 38, I believe it was, one morning. So anyway, I'm gonna hush. I'll get to talking too much. I got a lot to do, but I'm gonna get my water ready, and go ahead and get these things to soaking, and try to get some other things geared up and get ready. I've got my jars washed. I've got it clean. I hope I can get at least 7 quarts out of all these, and so that's my goal to shoot for today, and that way we'll have this much canned seed. Now I will say this: when you can them like this, if you like, and we do love these too, we like them candied, like candied yams or whatever, but uh, you won't be able to do that with them if they're canned to be good. but you can use these if you want to make a sweet potato pie or a sweet potato casserole. And there are other desserts that you can make, you know, with canned sweet potatoes. So you'll be able to do them like that, but they will be relatively mushy. But the method that I'm going to use today, according to the Ball Blue Book, you wash these things good, clean them up, put them in a pot, and you want to bring them to a boil for about 5 minutes till your skins begin to loosen up. And that makes them much easier to peel. And you peel them, and you might want to, well, some of them are going to have to cut to get them into the jar, but they'll still be firm, so you don't want to cook them till they're mush or nothing like that. But it'll prevent them from turning dark. It sets the color in them, and it prevents them from turning dark, changing color after you can them. So that's going to be my method today. And I'm going to set this tripod down, and I'm going to get started, get to work here, and get something done. All right, as you can see, it didn't take me long to get out of this jacket. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to just take this little brush, and while I'm doing it, I'm going to break off these little stems, roots, what have you. But we're just going to scrub these up good, clean them up, and then I'll take the water hose and rinse them off, throw them in that bucket. This will take some time, but I just like to be sure they're good and clean. I don't have any grit or anything like that in them. And go through them, clean them up, and that'll be it. When I get this done, I'll get back to you, and we'll put them on the stove and bring them to a boil, and then we'll go from there. Talk to you in a little bit. Alright guys, thought I'd come on here for just a second and show you we've got them washed. I've got them on the stove now. I've got a full pot, so I hope I can get at least 7 quarts, so I have a full canner full. But they smell awesome. I wish you could smell these things. But anyway, I'm going to let them, they're just about to come to a boil. And I'm going to let them boil for just about 5 minutes, so they'll peel a lot easier. And my understanding, what this does, it'll actually set the color in them so they won't be dark. But I'm going to finish this up, and I'll take them out of this water, let them cool for just a few minutes, try to get them peeled and cut up and put in jars. I've got my jars over here in the canner heating. And we did get the old girl out that we worked on the other day. So we're going to try it out, see how it does. And hopefully we'll get things to go in here. So anyway, check back with you later. Okay guys, I've got them here. I went ahead and took them out, and I've put them here in the sink. I'm just letting them cool. They are hot right now. I'll just show you something. The extra rainfall that we've had this year, that's what it has caused in some of these potatoes, causing them to split open with so much water. But these suckers are hot right now, so I'm going to let them cool for a few minutes, and then I'm going to try to get them peeled, cut up, get them ready to go in jars. And I've got to make a syrup, because we're going to put just a light syrup in here, so I've got to get that on and get that ready to go so that I'll have it when I'm ready to start. Okay, I'll get back with you here in a few moments. Screen's fogging up. Okay, we're going to get our syrup ready, and I'm just going to make the light syrup for this. That way it will help sweeten it up. My memory is not that great, so folks, I gotta have the book right here. I forget. Okay, for the light syrup, and I'm going to double the recipe, so be sure I have enough syrup to do 7 quarts. But according to that, I will need 4.5 cups of sugar. So we're going to measure out. There's 2. with a half. Alright. And then we will need 10.5 cups of water. My little cup here will do 2 cups at a time. I think we've got a bigger measuring cup in there. I need to check in on that. I got just a little more than I normally would in that one. Okay, that's 4. 6. 8. 'This is water that I'm using. There's 10, and then we'll do the half. This is Ball Blue Book's recipe for light syrup, a double batch of it. I probably will not use all of that, but if I have any left over, I can save it. All right, I'll put this on and get this heating, get the sugar dissolved, and let it be doing that while I'm waiting on while I'm getting the potatoes prepared. All right, check back with you later. Okay guys, we got them jarred up. I got 7 quarts, and I don't know, I might have a full quart, maybe just a tad more left over. So I think what I'm gonna do is we might use those, we'll fix them and use them for a pie or casserole or something, I don't know. But definitely the starches in these have been broken down. I haven't tasted of them yet, but they smell awesome. But when I'm cutting them up, I notice leaving a sticky feeling, so I do know that they're sugary. So that's what you want a sweet potato to do. So anyway, we got 7 quarts out of these. I need to take this off. But we got 7 quarts, and I did want to say this. The other day in the video about the pressure canner, I mentioned about the oil, putting it on the seal. If you need to put some on, like right now while I'm using it, it actually does help about getting it together and everything. That's fine, but I would always wash it off. I wouldn't leave it on there. I wouldn't store it with it on there, because if that oil sits on there, it can actually, it breaks down the rubber seal that's around there. So anyway, just thought I would throw that in there. I didn't want to get nobody confused about that. But I'm tickled to death. I've got this, and it took a while. My neck's sore from standing, peeling and cutting up, but we've got it, and I've got to clean the mess up and go from there. So anyway, I hope this will be a help. If you got any questions or anything like that, feel free to leave it in the comments, and we'll try to answer them as best as you can. And they did darken some, even though you know, that I don't think you can stop that. But I'll just show you right quick. You can see here, they do tend to darken some, but I did notice something else on my sweet potatoes. They're not as bad this year as the ones we had last year, but they, on the skin, will have like little dark splotches on them. And I looked that up last year, I believe it was, and it's actually, I think now, if I find out anything or try to look it back up, I'll put a link to it or put something in the description about it. But it's a fungus, and it's called scurf or scarf or something like that. Nothing wrong with the potato. It doesn't hurt the effect of the sweetness or anything like that, the taste or anything. It's really got something to do with using a real heavy organic soil, And what I grew mine in is last year was compost out of my yard here. And they really say that's not the best ideal thing to grow sweet potatoes in. They grow better in a poorer type soil. So lesson learned there. But I did even notice it, and I'm just wondering if it's not where the fertilizer that I might have put out. I put just a little bit to these. I didn't put much. But I wonder if that's not where some of it could have burned them just a tad bit or something. I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to get off of here, folks, and I got to clean this mess up. And we got other things going on. We've got the grapes that need to be juiced. That's another whole nother project. And I've got the chicken and dumpling that I definitely want to try to do this week. And I've got some other things. So right now, everything's going to pretty much for the next week or so be confined to in here unless something pops up that I'm not aware of outside. But I don't do a whole lot of tillage here with our soil in the fall. Now we have done that when on the land that I grew up on. But here I don't do a whole lot of it. It seems like it don't work as good when we do that here. It's better if we do it in the spring. That's just the location. So, but we definitely have some things we're going to be doing. And so just be patient. We'll get that out. And I did get a notification today that I am approved on YouTube. And I'll probably say more about that in a video that's probably going to come out. You probably already done know it by the time you see this video, because this one probably won't come out till toward the end of this week. So anyway, just thrilled to death about that. Never thought in my wildest dreams that I would be where I'm at today. So anyway, folks, I'm going to hush and we'll get off. And I've got to get started with this, cleaning up, getting everything put away. So y'all have a great day. Thanks a lot for all your nice comments and your support. I really appreciate it. All my subscribers. I do want to say I appreciate each one of you. And so y'all have a great day. And until the next time, we'll talk to you later. Thank you from Little North Carolina Farmer.